Good evening and welcome to
Life Talks Live.
and the 7-Minute Breakthrough Revolution. My name is Omar Alhegelan and my co-host Dunya.
This week we're talking about leadership.
Leadership and how it pertains to parenting. So, what makes a leader?
Being kind.
Being kind,
Very, very witty.
very, very witty,
Being sweet.
being sweet,
And being brave.
and being brave. See, leadership is translating vision into reality. A true leader does not do things by himself, nor does he ask for the credit. Actually, the philosopher Lao Tzu said it best. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." He then goes on to say, "To lead people, you must walk behind them."
Wow! Think about that.
You're right. It's amazing because it sounds opposite to the universal truth of a leader, and yet it's spot on. Take the ego out of it. A true leader goes unnoticed. He lets the action of his work speak for him. What do leaders do?
They speak.
They speak, yes.
They think.
They think. What else?
They work hard.
They have to work hard.
They make rules.
Mm-hmm.
And they make choices.
Well, let's hope that they make good choices. See, leaders take people where they want to go. But great leaders take people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. They must have the vision to drive and go beyond the norm. And it is this gift that convinces their followers to achieve the impossible. In today's cartoon world, Dunya, who's a good leader?
Jake.
Jake and the Neverland Parrot?
Silly, not parrot.
Oh, did I say parrot? What is it?
Pirate.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates. No, pirates, I'm sorry. Tell me, why?
Because he leads a group.
He leads a group of people. So a team captain would be a good leader?
Yes.
And probably a president as well?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
Yep.
Yeah? And you know what, Dunya? Each and every one of us is a leader, and we're leaders of our own life. Do you know who else are leaders?
All parents.
Exactly. You see, great parents lead by examples. By walking the talk, you become the person your children want to follow and emulate. Here are a few examples that exemplify this. 1.
Say the truth.
And take responsibility. See, show that honesty really is the best policy. Blame will cost you your credibility and will ultimately sabotage real growth. So own it. Own your actions, positive or otherwise. 2. Be courageous, acknowledge failure, and be persistent. See, walk through fire first, meaning deal with the crisis head on and show your children how it's done. If they see this characteristic trait in you, they will become courageous as well. Last week we had a quote from Mark Twain. Do you remember it?
Mm-hmm. Good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment.
Absolutely. Very, very true. And acknowledging and harnessing the power of fear makes it okay for your child to do the same and defines failure as part of the process of becoming extraordinary. You must try
and try again.
See, go under, go around every and all hurdles to show your children that obstacles don't define your family. It does not matter how many times you fail. The most important thing is that you keep getting up. Doesn't matter how many times you fall, as long as you keep getting up. Do you want to tell them the story about gymnastics this week? I should? All right, guys, I want to tell you this quick story. Dunya had her first gymnastics competition, and something happened that made me truly, I was beyond amazed by her. And it was a very simple story. What happened was she was doing the beam, and it was her first gymnastics competition. And during practice, she fell off the balance beam, and she started crying. Then when it was actually time to do the competition, the same thing happened. She got on the beam and she had to do a move, and when she attempted to move, she slid off and fell off. She started crying. She was brokenhearted. She really couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't take the fact of she was so disappointed in herself for not being able to do it and actually falling. The coach asked her if she would go ahead and get back on and finish the routine, but she was so devastated she couldn't, and she went and sat on the bench. Well, when the rotation was over, they asked her if she was ready to go ahead and finish. And you know what? She did. She got back on the proverbial horse and she did it. And even though she still fell 2 more times, but it didn't matter this time because she wasn't crying, she got right back up and she did the most important, which is after falling 3 times, she got back up and did it. And you know what? To me, that was worth 100 gold medals. Thirdly, find solutions. That is very important. So don't dwell on problems. Instead, be the first to offer solution and then ask your children for more. At the end of the day, there are no problems in life, only solutions. What is it that we like to say at home all the time?
Change the way you look at things. The thing you look at, start to think.
Start to change. Exactly. So changing your perspective will generally help you to find solutions by creating different projections that will inevitably bring about better realities. And last, but certainly not least,
Listen.
yes. Ask your children questions. Seek to understand them. You'll receive valuable insight and set the tone that encourages healthy dialogue, and in so doing, create more leaders. Max Dupree said it best, and I'll quote, "The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. In between, the leader is a servant." Let me say that again. The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. In between, the leader is a servant. This sums up in a nutshell what leadership and parenting are all about. Thank you for tuning in. Please send us any questions or comments to
LifeTalksLive.com
or our social media at Facebook,
Live Talks Live,
Twitter,
Live Talks Live,
Instagram.
Live Talks Live.
And remember to tune in tomorrow as Faisal will be sharing his unique wisdom on the topic of love. So until we meet again next week, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And we close as we always do with love, peace, and respect. Salam, shalom, namaste. Thank you and goodbye.